Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
Megan Washington.
Where are you from?
I'm from the internet. No, I'm from.
Is this a date?
No, I'm from Australia
Yeah.
via the internet. Washington is my surname, and it is also the name of my performance project. And it's it is the moniker under which I record and release music. Generally, songs in the indie rock vein, quite passive aggressive in content and nature. Generally, with a beat you can pop to. Artistically, that's so creepy, but artistically it's me. But I have some people that are also in the camp with me.
And so what can we expect from the live shows? Just the three of you on stage?
Just chaos, really. Either chaos or just crickets chirruping in the background as we play with our navels and discuss who was the greatest character on Are You Being Served? Well, before I had my band, before I had this, the Washington thing, I sang a lot of jazz. And before that, I was really into musical theatre. So I've kind of been performing. I was one of those revolting children that always found their way to the front of the photograph, those horrible ones. So I've kind of been performing for a long time. But in this sort of scenario since about 2008, so about 3 years. This was always a bit of a side project for me, not a side project, but I was singing jazz, 4 nights a week, happily. The only problem that I had was that, as a singer, you really are attracted to stories and narratives and believing in the things that you say and that you're singing, because that's what makes a convincing performance, right?
Yeah, the passion and the emotion in it.
And I just didn't really identify singing the blues that belonged to, a freed slave in 1930, whatever. That's not my story. I'm a scrawny white Irish Catholic misanthrope from Papua New Guinea. Now it's not the same. So I started writing my own music, and I guess we released our first EP in 2008 and my record in 2010. So there was 2 years of touring, and we released 3 EPs before our record came out. And then the record came out in the middle of last year, so a good 2 years. It was sort of a weird process because, I was very much still sort of experimenting with what I wanted the band to be or what I wanted it to sound like through each of those EPs. So the first one is quite sort of folky, the first EP, which was called the Clementine EP. It was really folky because that's kind of jazz's next door neighbour, right? It's kind of folk, Nick Drakey.
That free fall style.
Like that Nick Drakey thing. That's kind of where I was at. And then the How to Tame Lions EP was very classical. And then the Rich Kids EP was kind of Motowny and a bit more pop. And then by the time I got around to the album, I'd sort of learnt what I'd learnt. But it was all very kind of accumulative. There was never really a vision to make a record that was going to sound like this. So by the time the record came out, it kind of just was what it was, And I felt like it was kind of weird because there were songs on there that were 3 years old. Like Clementine, I wrote in 2007, and it came out in 2010.
Can you still relate to that song when you perform it?
No, that's why I don't sing it anymore.
Oh, you don't?
And it's not on the record. Because when it came time to release it, internationally, I just, chronologically, I tried to cut off the oldest ones and put on some new stuff so that I felt like it was the most current and up-to-date and faithful kind of representation of what I am doing. Which is why I got rid of the old stuff and I put on these new songs that I've written, like Plastic Bag and Holy Moses. Look, I mean, I think that I'm still really evolving and really learning as a songwriter, and I hope that I never get to a place where I'm like, you know what, I'm a fucking great songwriter.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what kind of art that sort of attitude produces, and you know, I just said before, like, I feel very much like an apprentice. You shouldn't steal music, but if you are going to steal music, come to the show.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, sometimes you just simply can't get things. Like, I've tried to find artists on the Australian iTunes that I just can't, it's just not released in Australia, and you just can't get it. And I either have to mail away to the UK or the US or to the Netherlands or wherever the fuck the thing is, and then get it shipped, and then I'm on a tour, and it's a nightmare. So, you know, I have like downloaded music, but if that artist ever comes or releases their record in Australia, I will buy it.
Yep.
Because that's actually how I live. Like, it's a really abstract. I understand that it's extremely abstract, that people think if I just push this little button, somebody somewhere gets paid. Like, but that's a very abstract notion, but it's true. You know, and I know that it's actually a statistic that for everybody that's bought your music, 5 times that many people own it. So I think about, you know, how many records I've sold, which is, you know, it's not many, but it's not like a million.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about having to like pay my rent and how it sucks, I think people should buy music.
Yeah.
You should just buy stuff. Just buy stuff. If you want stuff, pay for it.
Lovely chatting with you.
It was lovely to chat with you.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you live next week. But bye-bye.